Today our topic is how to be more rational using Stoic logic. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is not just about thinking, but about acting in a way that is calm, strong, and wise. The Stoics believed that the key to happiness is not in external things like money, fame, or power, but in our own minds and how we choose to see the world. To be more rational using Stoic logic means to think clearly, avoid unnecessary emotions, and make decisions based on reason rather than impulse. Let us explore how we can do this step by step. First, we need to understand what Stoic logic is. Logic, for the Stoics, is not just about arguments or debates. It is about understanding the world and ourselves in a clear and truthful way. Stoic logic helps us to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. It teaches us to separate facts from opinions, reality from imagination, and truth from illusion. This is important because many of our problems come from misunderstanding the world or ourselves. For example, if we think that we need something to be happy, like a new car or a promotion, we might feel upset when we do not get it. But Stoic logic reminds us that happiness does not come from external things. It comes from within, from our own thoughts and choices. By using Stoic logic, we can see that the car or the promotion is not the source of happiness, and we can focus on what truly matters. The second step is to practice self-awareness. This means paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Many people go through life without really thinking about why they do what they do. They react to events without considering if their reactions are helpful or harmful. Stoic logic asks us to pause and reflect. When something happens, we should ask ourselves, why am I feeling this way? Is this feeling based on facts or assumptions? Is my reaction rational or emotional? By doing this, we can start to see patterns in our behavior. We can notice when we are being controlled by fear, anger, or desire, and we can choose to act differently. For example, if someone says something that makes us angry, instead of shouting or arguing, we can stop and think, why am I angry? Is this person trying to hurt me, or are they just expressing their own opinion? Is my anger helping the situation, or is it making things worse? By practicing self-awareness, we can learn to control our emotions and respond to challenges in a calm and rational way. The third step is to focus on what we can control. This is one of the most important ideas in Stoicism. The Stoics believe that there are two types of things in life: things we can control and things we cannot. Things we can control include our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. Things we cannot control include other people's opinions, the weather, and the past. Many people waste time and energy worrying about things they cannot change. They get upset when things do not go their way, or they try to control other people's behavior. But Stoic logic teaches us that this is a mistake. We cannot control everything, and trying to do so only leads to frustration and disappointment. Instead, we should focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. For example, if we are stuck in traffic, we cannot control the traffic, but we can control how we react to it. We can choose to be patient and use the time to listen to music or think about our day. By focusing on what we can control, we can reduce stress and live more peacefully. The fourth step is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is the act of being thankful for what we have. It is easy to take things for granted and focus on what we lack. But Stoic logic reminds us that everything we have is a gift. Even the smallest things, like a warm meal or a kind word, are valuable and should be appreciated. By practicing gratitude, we can shift our focus from what we do not have to what we do have. This helps us to feel more content and less envious. For example, instead of wishing for a bigger house, we can be grateful for the home we have. Instead of complaining about our job, we can be thankful for the opportunity to work and provide for ourselves. Gratitude also helps us to see the good in difficult situations. Even when things go wrong, there is always something to be thankful for, like the support of friends or the chance to learn from our mistakes. By practicing gratitude, we can develop a more positive and rational outlook on life. The fifth step is to embrace challenges. Life is full of difficulties, and it is easy to feel overwhelmed or discouraged. But Stoic logic teaches us that challenges are not just obstacles. They are opportunities. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Instead of avoiding problems, we should face them with courage and determination. The Stoics believe that hardship is a test of character. It reveals what we are made of and helps us to discover our true strength. For example, if we lose our job, instead of feeling hopeless, we can see it as an opportunity to find a new path or learn new skills. If we face criticism, instead of feeling hurt, we can use it as feedback to improve ourselves. By embracing challenges, we can turn setbacks into stepping stones and become better versions of ourselves. The sixth step is to live in the present moment. Many people spend their lives worrying about the future or regretting the past. But Stoic logic reminds us that the only moment we truly have is the present. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. Worrying about what might happen, or what has already happened, only distracts us from what is happening now. By living in the present moment, we can focus on what we are doing and make the most of our time. For example, if we are spending time with friends, instead of thinking about work or other worries, we can fully enjoy the conversation and the connection. If we are working on a project, instead of thinking about the outcome, we can focus on doing our best in the moment. By living in the present, we can reduce anxiety and find more joy in everyday life. The seventh step is to practice humility. Humility is the quality of being modest and not thinking too highly of ourselves. It is easy to become arrogant or self-centered, especially when we achieve success or receive praise. But Stoic logic teaches us that no matter how much we achieve, we are still human and fallible. We make mistakes, and we have limits. By practicing humility, we can stay grounded and open to learning. We can also treat others with respect and kindness, knowing that everyone has their own struggles and strengths. For example, if we receive a compliment instead of feeling superior, we can appreciate the kindness and remember that we still have room to grow. If we make a mistake, instead of being defensive, we can admit it and learn from it. By practicing humility, we can build better relationships and become more rational and balanced individuals. The eighth step is to remember that life is short. The Stoics often reminded themselves of the brevity of life to help them focus on what truly matters. They called this practice Memento mori, which means remember that you will die. This may sound morbid, but it is actually a powerful way to stay motivated and appreciate the present. When we remember that our time is limited, we are less likely to waste it on trivial things or hold grudges. We are more likely to pursue our goals, cherish our relationships, and live with purpose. For example, instead of putting off a dream or an important conversation, we can take action today, knowing that tomorrow is not guaranteed. By remembering that life is short, we can make the most of every moment and live with intention. In conclusion, Stoic logic offers us a practical and rational way to navigate life. By understanding the world and ourselves, practicing self-awareness, focusing on what we can control, practicing gratitude, embracing challenges, living in the present, practicing humility, and remembering that life is short, we can become more rational, resilient, and fulfilled. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or avoiding pleasure. It is about living with wisdom, courage, and integrity. It is about making choices that align with our values and lead to a meaningful life. By applying Stoic logic to our daily lives, we can face challenges with calmness, make decisions with clarity, and live with purpose. The journey to rationality is not always easy, but it is worth it. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters." Let us choose to react with reason, strength, and grace.